Hello and welcome to the Green Skills for Deaf webinar series. This is the first webinar of the series and we are pleased to have you with us. As you can see, this webinar is linked to Module 1 of Green Skills for Deaf webinars. And today's topic is Introduction to Green Skills. Here is the content of what we'll see today. Firstly, we'll see what green skills are, why they are important, where green skills can apply. We'll see the difference between green jobs and greening jobs and professions. We'll see green skills in our daily life. And lastly, we'll see 3 key green skills concepts. Here is a short description of today's topic. The aim of this topic is simple but very important. It wants to help learners understand what green skills are, why they are needed in today's world, and how they are connected to sustainability and employment. In addition, it wants to educate and help learners to understand that environmental responsibility is not limited only on activists and experts, but is something that concerns all of us, and all people around the world should do something. I will not stay long on this slide because we'll see everything later on in more details. Starting with what green skills are. Green skills are the abilities, knowledge, and attitudes that allow people to live and work in ways that respect the environment and use resources responsibly. Here are some key highlights, let's say, of what green skills has as values in course. Starting with understanding environmental issues such as climate change, pollution, waste management, and all these kind of things that affect our environment nowadays. Also, green skills are practical actions that we can do in order to save the environment and nature, for example, saving energy or water, using eco-friendly tools and recycle. Also, green skills is about the attitudes and values we have as human beings to take care of the environment and nature. And lastly, but important, I just want to say that green skills are not just only for environmental jobs. They are useful in any profession and in our daily lives. We'll see them in more detail later on. Here is a short video that you can see, and it will give you more information of what green skills are. Moving to the next topic, why green skills are important. I'm guessing everyone heard before at least once about global warming, climate change, pollution, plastic waste, and all of these things that unfortunately affecting our environment badly. All of these examples are some major challenges that our world faces these days. And green skills are very important because it can be one of the solutions in order to address these challenges. So you can understand why these challenges are, these green skills are very important for us. Now we can see where green skills are applied. And I just want to say that green skills are not only about environmental projects and environmental jobs that directly affect the environment, but we can apply them in many other sectors of our lives. For example, here we can see home. So you can do daily stuff like save electricity or do recycling and grow plants in your home that will affect positively the environment. And these things are green skills. Also, during school or training center, children can be educated about green skills, how to save, again, energy, how to be involved in eco projects and do sustainable daily lifestyle. And lastly, of course, work is another major aspect that green skills can be applied. For example, you can limit your printing and use more digital things if you are working from home, from office. Or as the example specify here, you can, if you are a chef, you can plan meals to avoid food waste. Now we'll see what is the difference between green jobs and greening jobs and professions. Green jobs, let's say, it's jobs that directly contribute to protecting the environment. Examples of that are solar energy technicians who can install solar panels and wind turbines. Also, urban gardener is another example, recycling specialist, architect, and there are many more like sustainable consultant and so on. However, regular jobs can also be more green. So you can do daily things and that will make your work more green and eco-friendly. Here, there are some examples across professions that we can see that green skills can be applied and they can make these jobs more green and more environmental and eco-friendly. For the first one is about farming sector, and farmers can use eco-friendly methods such as composting and install water-saving irrigation systems and reduce chemical use in order to protect the environment. Here, the construction and building, builders and engineer can design energy-efficient homes, use recycled materials, and install solar panels for better installation and to protect the environment. On the hospitality sector, hotels and restaurants can reduce waste, they can recycle, and they can save water and energy. On the transport sector, mechanics and drivers, they can use green transport methods like bicycles, share rides, cycling systems, and this kind of stuff. About energy and technology, technicians can install renewable energy systems rather than burning fuels. And in the education and community sector, teachers and trainers can include environmental topics in their lessons. They can educate children, because when we educate children, then they will know later on how to act. So how green skills affect our careers? Green skills can open many opportunities for education and employment. Because of what is happening to the world, there are many professions and careers that are growing fast in these green jobs, like renewable energy, eco-agriculture, waste management, water conservation, sustainable construction, and so on. And for deaf and hard of hearing learners, these sectors are particularly suitable because they often involve visual, practical, and hands-on tasks. And these supported, of course, with sign language interpretation and accessible training environments. This job can be a really great match for this individual and for these target groups. Example of career pathways include working in solar installation company, managing or a recycling or repair workshop, or working on such recycling company, becoming an eco-tourist guide for deaf and hard of hearing learners, and also you can learn sustainable cooking practices. Employers increasingly value green skills because they show responsibility and problem-solving ability as well. And these skills make learners not only employable, but also active, and that they want to contribute in the society and for the general good of people. So now we are moving on and we'll see how green skills can affect our daily lives, except of our working environment. You can use them in everyday actions. For example, you can choose to turn off the lights or unplug chargers. You can carry a reusable bag instead of using plastic. You can walk rather than taking your car to go somewhere. You can support local farmers instead of imported food. So all of these things are practical things that you can do, and they are green skills basically that they can save the environment. So you can see that green skills is not only something that is work related, but it's something that you carry with you every day. Also, importantly, we have to say that green skills are not only about what we do, but it's also about our mindset and about what we think and our values. And green mindsets includes responsibility, firstly, knowing that your actions affect others and the planet as well. Respect, basically understanding that nature deserves care as well. And curiosity, an example is how can I do this in a better and more sustainable way? And of course, you have to be optimist and believe that change is possible and that we can do something for this situation and to have a better life later on and the generations after us. Here are three key green skills concepts. Green skills combine practical abilities and ways of thinking. And the first one is environmental awareness. And basically, this means understanding how our daily choices affect our planet. For example, when we use electricity when it's not needed, that this electricity is affecting the environment and the animals that live in the same planet with us. The other one is system thinking, and this means that you have to see the connections between environment, economy, and society. I can give you an example. For example, if we cut some trees in order to make some furniture, by this we're affecting three things: the society, environment, and the economy, because by cutting trees, we are affecting directly the environment. By using furnitures, that will be we are affecting the society, and in order to use the furniture, we need to buy them, so we are affecting the economy as well. So system thinking is something that needs to think connectively and think many things around. And also the problem solving, which this means finding smart, creative solutions. For example, a student who sees too much waste at school, it might suggest for a recycling campaign or for a composting station in their school. Here are some examples of green skills that we already kind of discussed, but it's nice to see them here as well. So as we said, green skills include both actions and value and mindset. Some actions are saving energy and water, reducing and reusing and recycling materials, choosing sustainable transport, using digital tools instead of paper, and reducing waste in daily tasks. Green skills about value and mindsets include the responsibility for the environment, the respect for nature and future generations, awareness of the impact of daily choices, openness to changing habits, and willingness to act sustainably. Here are some references, and you can visit these links in order to learn more about this topic. And here we'll have a very short summary of topic 1 of this webinar series. And through these topics, learned how to explore what green skills are and why they are important today, how green skills apply to daily life, education, and work, the difference between green jobs and greening professions, key concepts of green skills, such as the environmental awareness, system thinking, and problem solving. And lastly, we saw some practical and green skill examples. Thank you so much for watching this webinar. I hope you enjoyed.